What's going on, fellow engineers? My name is Kenny, and thanks for checking out the Almost Engineer channel. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the Sense Energy Monitor after I've had it installed for one full billing cycle. Alright, so if you've watched the previous video in the series, you've known that I've had the Sense Energy Monitor installed for a full billing cycle now. I've actually installed it in the middle of a billing cycle, so it's actually been installed for a full 2 months as the recording of this video. So what have I learned from that full 2 months? Well, I've noticed that it only has found 12 devices that are connected. Most of them are major appliances like the refrigerator, the dryer. It's identified the stove. It's also identified the dishwasher and a few light fixtures. I have ceiling fans, as you can see one of them right here. While it has identified the light on the ceiling fan, it has not identified the fan itself. So that's kind of a questionable thing, how it's able to identify one part and not the other. And I think it's in part because it has to do with the light being switched on and off versus the fan. I leave the fan running 24/7, so it considers that an always on load instead of a device that switches on and off. So to give you an example, Alabama Power charges during the summertime, they charge you a different rate once you hit 1,000 kilowatt hours within a given billing cycle. And in the wintertime, they charge you a different billing rate once you hit 750 kilowatts within a billing cycle. So this is a deficiency within the Sense app. I'm not sure if any other utilities have these two distinguishing rates once you go beyond a certain usage, but it would be helpful if that is possible for the Sense developers to be able to add that type of functionality in. In addition, my utility company also has what they refer to as a base charge. And so that base charge is $14 per billing cycle. And so basically, if you have zero electrical usage for the entire month, they will still send you a bill for that base charge of $14 per month. So the Sense app also does not allow for this data to be plugged in to actually give you an accurate estimate of how much your bill would be. So this again is another feature that I'm seeing with my particular situation that the app is deficient in. So the Sense app has been useful in identifying problems that have occurred within my house. One of which was identifying that the attic fan was actually running during the overnight hours. Now, if you have an attic fan in your house, you know that that attic fan was really supposed to run during the daytime when it's the hottest in the attic, and to be able to move that hot air out of the attic and replace it with cooler air, especially when the nighttime rolls around. Well, I got up early one morning, maybe around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. As you know, at that time of the day, it is still dark. And I looked in the Sense app and noticed, hey, this usage is higher than normal. It was roughly a good 300 to 400 watts higher than normal. So I was like, okay, wonder what that is. And so I looked in the app a little bit further, and it said the attic fan was running. Now, my attic fan single-handedly pulls roughly 200 watts, and I have 2 of them. So one of them was running, the other one wasn't. So I'm like, well, why is it running? And it's, cool outside. So I go up to the attic, and upon further investigation, I noticed that the thermostat on the attic fan was actually rotated by 90 degrees. Now, if you're familiar with thermostats that are non-digital thermostats, the old mechanical type of thermostat, you'll know sometimes that if you don't mount them correctly, they have a tendency to either cut on too early or cut off too late. Well, in my case, the thermostat was set to 110 degrees. Obviously, at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's not 110 degrees when the outside temperature is in the mid 70s. And so what happened was, because the thermostat is rotated sideways, the connecting mechanism that actually completes the circuit was also being thrown off. So it was running way longer than it should have. So the immediate fix was for me to adjust the thermostat to an even higher temp. But the permanent fix would be to actually rotate that thermostat to its correct position so that it operates at the set markings that is on it. The other way I was able to use the Sense app was to be able to identified the issue with my air conditioner. And so my air conditioner actually stopped working, and I didn't realize it that morning that it stopped working because it quit in the middle of the night. So I went and checked the AC unit to see if there was anything obvious that I could detect. I didn't really see anything. And so I went and looked in the app to see, well, when did it actually stop working? And come to find out, it stopped working in the middle of the night. There's a graph on the chart where it had initially kicked on, where the capacitor discharged, and so there's that spike of initial surge, and then it quit immediately afterwards. And so what that indicated to me is that it attempted to turn on, but something happened where it didn't turn on, and it hadn't ran since. So what I eventually found out through further diagnosis is that the actual wiring on the compressor contactor had actually burned up. So I don't know if that was because of the initial surge or because of a bug or something else of that nature. But the Sense app showed that, hey, the compressor's not running, something's off. And so I was able to diagnose and kind of rebuild a timeline of events to see what happened. And that was very helpful. So at least I knew it wasn't something like somebody came in during the daytime and did some tampering or something of that nature. So if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you've seen some of my tweets or posts about the Sense app. And the Sense team is actually very responsive to when you post about their app, and especially if you tag them in the post that you make. One of the posts that I made about the air conditioning unit and being able to find out via the Sense app that there was a problem with it, they actually responded back and said, hey, we're having a competition. You should enter this into that competition for sweepstakes. So I was like, that's a good idea. So the Sense team is very active on social media and will respond to questions that you have if you tag them in your posts. So that recaps this update for the Sense Energy Monitor. As I mentioned, I've had it installed for about 2 months now, but went through one full billing cycle, and these are the things that I've noticed. If you have any questions for me regarding the Sense app or the Sense device and my experiences with it, you can leave a comment in the comments section below. To get updates on what I'm currently working on, you can check me out on my social media on Instagram and Twitter at almostengr. And until next time, peace out. So one thing that I've been able to use the app for, I've actually had 2 uses for the app, is to detect, vulnerabilities. Right, this is not a computer thing. So I have reported some useful benefits of the Sense app